Hello everyone and welcome to today's tutorial. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Python. Now Python is one of the numerous programming languages out there. The advantage with Python is that it's pretty simple to learn. Even a novice can get started very easily, and its syntax is very close to normal written English. So what you write is something that you can normally you would understand if your basic English is good. So it's very easy to learn. It's being used widely in machine learning and AI and things like that, and even a novice can get started easily. So we'll talk about how to install Python and sort of get started. So in order to do that, you will have to obviously go onto the website, Python's website, which is python.org. Okay, now Python does have two versions. It has a 2.x, let's say, and a 3.x. 2.x is well, not really a legacy version, really. It was the first version, and they have made some improvements to the newer version, which is 3.x, whatever that is as of now. The reason the 2.x version still exists is because a lot of companies have already implemented their code in the 2.x version, and so it would be a task to move all those millions of lines onto version 3. So Python has been updating 2.x, and they have come up with improvements in the 3.x version. So for this, I would recommend that you go ahead and download the 3.x version. So as of now, if you can see, I'm using a Windows computer, obviously. So the latest version is 3.7. So all you have to do is go to downloads. You would have this here. If you have a Mac or a Linux, the appropriate version would show up, and all you have to do is just click on this, and it would take you to the download page and initiate the downloads. There you go, Python exe. So I already have this downloaded. Once the file downloads, the exe file downloads, just run it like any other software that you would install on your computer. Once that is done, you would have a separate folder show up on your computer called Python. Let me just go to that. There you go. So this means that Python's installed. Now with Python, once the installation is done, there is something handy called idle. So this is basically a quick development environment that they have, where you can quickly type lines of code, and you can check if the code works or not. Now for example, if I do a simple print command, okay, let's do a hello world, let's say, and I want to check if this works or not. I just hit enter, and yes, the code works. So um, however, this is not really meant for you to write a bunch of lines, because if you do, it actually goes ahead and runs the program sequentially. So you can't do an if statement or conditional formatting or whatever. You can't really do that in this. This is really nice for running small chunks of code to see if it works. But in order to actually write lines of code and execute that properly, you would need an actual text editor or code editor. For example, Atom. I have already put up a video earlier where you could, where I've shown you how to download Atom and go ahead and make it compatible with Python code, and how to actually run proper code on it. So I'll leave a link to that in this video. You can just click on that and view that. But that's about it. In order to install Python, you just go on to the website. Just a quick recap. So the website is python.org. Go to downloads, all releases, the appropriate version for your OS will show up. Click on it'll save the exe file, then you just run the exe file as normal. Once done, you should see um, a folder called Python on your computer. There you go. You have an integrated development environment called idle, or you could also run it on your command prompt. There it is. This again works just like idle, so it's again good to check bits of code, but you can't really be expected to actually go ahead and write code in this and run it properly, because again it would run sequentially, so none of your conditional statements or loops would probably run in it properly, at least. So again, something like a lightweight text editor, Atom, there are loads of them out there, is recommended. So alright, that's about it for today's tutorial. Thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, please do leave them in the comments. I will be most glad to answer them all. All right. Thank you so much and have a good day.